right there. But we're going to come out and we're going to bring that coat up here like that, okay? Now I hope you can see that. I'm drawing it the best way I possibly can so that you can see it. And we're going to take and we're going to do like this with our knife. Dig our knife in there, and then we're going to remove some of the area in there. You may have to cut and then go back and remove a little bit more. Go back, remove a little bit more. Come here. Do the same thing. Cut. Remove. Cut with the knife. Come back. Cut down. And look at that. You're removing it. And let's come up underneath here. Take a little bit off. Our tie is probably going to go there. And then we want to cut along this area and cut and remove, and we'll add the depth later as we go, or as we go we'll remove the depth. But we want to cut so that we can establish where our coat is going to be, okay? All right, see that? It cuts down like that. Take a little bit more off. Okay. And it's going to come up here behind the trousers here, the back of the trousers. In which case you go around, sorry, and you cut. You want to make sure that the hands are in the coat pocket. There's plenty of room there, but you establish where's that at, and then you begin to give it depth. And when I mean depth, I mean you start removing up underneath here so that the coat has depth to where it's go. Now most people know that I cut a lot deeper than most people do. Like I'll come up here and I'll do that again, and I'll remove a little bit more because I have plenty here, and I'll do the same thing here. And I'll remove that. And I thought that was, no, I just thought that was funny. That was really a good effect with it. Okay, now we've got our little coat established right in here, so we can kind of work out here what we want to do, and we'll work that out, in other words. So what have we done? We've taken Odie's head off, we've established a hand right in here, and let me go ahead and draw where my hand's going to be in here, and we cut this across here, and we remove this from this side of the hand. You know, when I nick myself, most of the times I nick myself when I am passing the knife. Like I'll turn the knife around looking like this, and my finger will catch the tip of that knife. And that's usually the only time that I cut myself, in other words. But that's usually when you injure yourself, is not cutting yourself with a wood, but just nicking yourself, or, you know. And you'll do that by accident, and then next thing you know, you'll see a little red spot on this thing, and then what in the world did I do? And you realize that you actually nicked yourself. All right. Now the next thing we want to do with Odie is we want to go ahead and put a little tie on him. So I get that stomach kind of down just a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, and the tie is going to come all the way across. We're going to draw a sort of like a pyramid V there, down here like this, okay? And we're going to come here and we're going to cut into that, and then we're going to come from the outside and cut it, okay? And then we're going to cut in from there and come on the outside, and we're going to cut it, and we're going to cut it again. Get that kind of deep in there. As I've told you, I like to make the deep cuts. I like that a lot of people just do it where it just barely stands out. I try not to do that. I try to make it where it stands out a lot, to give it a lot of depth. And then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to draw another pyramid, but the other way. I'm going to draw it like this. And I'm not going to make as deep a cut, but I'm going to cut that right here and cut that right there. And then I'm going to come from the inside of the, and do that, okay? Here we go. There's our little tie right there. Okay. Now, pretty much the tie is going to come down here and cover where our pants go. So what we want to do is, and after we finish the clothes, then I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to strop my knife, and now the shoes are way too big, okay? They're way too big for what I want it for. So that also will be cut down. And especially in this area here where they are so high, they're going to be brought down. Okay? When you do this much, you have to strop your knife about every 15-20 minutes. Well, I do. Just to get a little bit more sharpness into it. So, we're going to work on the pants now. Now, naturally, I'm going to draw the pant leg right in here. And I'm going to cut it, okay? And we're going to take that off right in there so that we have a pant leg, which is part of the piece right there. You see that? And then we're going to come down here like this, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut our pant leg our pant leg, our pants leg. Okay. Whew, that chipped off there pretty good. Sometimes you get that. That's why I try to strop my knife as often as possible, because sometimes, oh, I see what it is. Got a little imperfection right there in that wood, and I didn't know it. Not making an excuse, I just saw it there when I okay. Now, let's go ahead and come around here. Let's kind of take these things off here and kind of get those pants now naturally we have to go back here and run our crease between the pants, and you do that by using your knife to this is a real popular figure to do, the Odie figure, because a lot of people don't have to make any eyes or anything like that. All we are is just changing it a little bit, and there's the crease in between the legs. Now you can do this with a V-tool. I try to stick with a knife so that I can work with it the way I try to do 95% of it with a knife. All right. Okay, as we can see, now the front of the legs now must come up, which means that it's got to come up here like this. In other words, this is the and this you have to kind of work at. This is what you have to kind of cut. You have to kind of go back and forth with your knife, getting those areas in there. Like I said, you can also do this with a V-tool, but I try to do 95% of it with a knife. There we go. Just sort of and cut that little part in there on the pants, a little crouch area. Like I said, you have to go back and cut and make these areas, and let's see, let's bring this area in here a little bit more noticeable. All right. Okay. Now we have got, we've established pretty much, and we'll go back and we'll do some areas of the pants and other things. We've got this established pretty good, where now he is got his clothes on. We'll go back, of course, and do some tweaking, as we say, on the clothes, on everything. But the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the head, okay? and we have plenty of room here to do the head, but I'm going to go strut my knife so that I can get some things done. And when we get through with it, we'll show you. All right. Well, I'll be back.